always the question here in Call of Duty Warzone. But let's get ready, my friend, as our players are getting ready to dive on in from the sky. Plane lines going from the northwest down towards the south. Things could start getting a little bit mixy here off the drop.
Could indeed, and obviously eyes on toward Factory then. This has been where Twisted Minds are playing out of. They're currently second in our standings, a ways behind Virtus Pro Mind, a good 30 points, but this could be one of those games that if you set up early enough for, could give you a little bit of a gap to everybody else chasing behind. We'll get a quick look at this fight that will erupt again at Bioweapons. Team Vision up against the Gentle Mates. FIFA kill, Enkyo. They trade blows, call it the draw, reset, come again. Enkyo catches Lennon out, who tried to switch in for that fight. Little French Prince with an SMG in hand. Not many people will want to fight him out here on the map, and you just found out why.
Yeah, PPP zone in hand will let you take multiple fights in a row without worry. FIFA kill playing from that top side, Echo down below. I do wonder, can they manage to kind of meet on up? But look who's kind of started to join the party here, Enigma. Doggy. He's managed to find himself all the way from Chemical here into Bio. And, well, he'll get cut down by Echo. A little bit of the kills getting fed on over. Gromaluk and Enkyo, they'll go ahead, trade on up, cut down Echo in the meantime. So we are a little bit of a blender starting to happen here on this northeastern side of the map as a couple of our top teams start to battle it out.
Yeah, tough for me to watch personally, European on European hate, but it's all right. We'll see. The French pick up a number of kills, and Lennon, well, he's got to find a way to slip away. Otherwise, this is their team potentially out of here. You also get the second player back in. Enkyo maybe overextends here. Going to be shot in the back by Leviathan, who are currently set up in Industries, and, well, the reposition from Enkyo is beautiful to find Len in the feed. Got to be careful about bullets coming in here, though. A little bit of life left on you, and no plates either for your little Frenchman there. Got to get back towards your teammates, and, well, Novo have been our first team wiped here, so much success through the early stages of this tournament. Today looking a very different story.
Yeah, you can see they get wiped, and that's going to really open up that control center side because, well, look who has now made their way to that control center dock. It is going to be XO, and for Twisted Minds, they've flexed on up from Factory. Smitty, he's hoping to be able to come online here. He's able to find Rated. Will hop from G1 to G2 and is trying to make sure that nobody is there for the trade. So it's an easy cleanup, and I like what Twisted Minds is doing. It feels like they focus through these couple first games of moving from Factory and trying to either move up to Harbor or down to living quarters, but for now it's pushing on up to headquarters.
I fully agree. They're drawing a bit of a line in the sand. I will say, though, the Falcons have arrived to living quarters far earlier than usual, so they are potentially looking at the situation of needing a lot more kills, and Soka's going to be close by the way, so maybe this is one of the change-ups that's coming through to try and give them a bit more of an advantage in some of these fights. Dongi does enough to find Deki, will be shut down by Lays, who has had himself a phenomenal tournament. Noob's going to be on a bit of a trade-out situation, clean up on two of the fights. CT Gaming, they're out of here. The Frenchman also suffering a little bit at the hands of Vision Esports. Back and forth we go. Enkyo stays up. Plenty of plates in the pocket to reset this fight. Hallow's going to try and cover over from the window if he can get there. Noob slides and, well, firing out in towards the smoke will hit very little in the end. Forced to back off, and kills coming through for the Falcons on Twisted Minds.
Falcons getting a lot more active earlier here today. Two members of Twisted Minds fall. It's going to leave last one. You got to imagine that's Almond at Factory, as it looks like they are starting to maybe come online. You can see Soka and Biffle are actually going to be the ones running 2 by 2. Shifty's going to be the one down at Stronghold. That's from him getting taken out earlier, so probably while he's on the regain, you let these two push on forward. You start to maybe feel a little bit better. Biffle slides on out. A little bit of a spring mine action. We'll go ahead, back away Biffle. He's not going to be able to be there, but from the other side, you see Soka does find Aydan. That's the second of the map. Looking to get active. We've seen this sometimes for Soka. If the team's not really gelling well, he says, put me on the front lines. Sometimes a general loves to lead from the back, but Soka, when the time calls, he will be leading the pack from the front.
Now, so often we talk about him as this anchor, as the IGL, as the intelligent player. Ladies and gentlemen, this man can shoot up there with his two teammates as one of the very best in the world, let me tell you. Gonna get aggressive here. Find Smitty on the outside of the water. And this is exactly the adjustment that the Falcons are going to make. And as the rest of the lobby recognizes this, it might well change up the play that they make, become ever more scared of the Falcons, give them more space to operate in. That being said, Twisted Minds, they're going landing over towards Stronghold here. They might push that out, never mind. Shifty will find Almond to the boats. 100 Thieves. Gabe tries to push out, will be punished for it. You do have company from Leviathan here if you are EXO, so it's about trying to pick your battles. Blast catches one. Ooh, slips and slides out. I wasn't 100% sure if that was intentional, but you will survive for now.
Worked out. Worked out for the time being. Hamoud, though, has an idea that Blast is down here behind the forklift. Blast just stuck. Can he get any bit of help? It looks like he got a player floating from above, maybe trying to give you those live pings if possible. If you are Blast, thankfully Tempered in hand will let you reset this fight beautifully. LC10 in hand, you find Hamoud, you'll stop the self-revive for coming on in, and it's just a little bit of a dance of death right now for Blast as he flies on in against Penguin, and he's not going to be able to do it. We are at least able to find one, and that is great for the time being. 100 Thieves will continue to hold this top side.
One of those moments there, I wonder if Blast can just wait for one of his teammates to get into that fight, potentially help him with the trade-out situation. Because he operates alone, you end up just falling, giving up. It could be an important kill later on. Anyway, over to the Falcons, who've started to move up this southern shoreline towards Harbour, surrounded by 2 members of Twisted Minds, and Smitty will shoot you in the back. Soka, you're in trouble. And, well, Soka can shoot with some of the best in the world, but so can a young man named Z-Smith. So you regain control of this shoreline. You will have players rotating on over, though, from AG Global. You've also got a little bit of company from the Falcons, and Leviathan trying to regain on this side of the map as well. So it's getting very busy over by Factory.
Yeah, Twisted Minds, so they at least have the opportunity, if they need to back on up towards Red or even Harbor, back on a little bit deeper, they're going to be able to. You see Biffle maybe trying to help Soka in that engagement. He's now found himself over here in Factory, just looking to be a nuisance. Decky lays from Leviathan, just playing on this bottom side. Almond, he'll get back towards the top. All of a sudden, Factory becoming very, very active here in map number 5 after we've not really seen a lot of action in the past couple of games. And Biffle throws a little bit of a shoulder on that steps, and look who is looking down at him. Fully aware of where you are playing from. Well, it's a player from Twisted Minds at the top.
Yeah, showing the difference there in actually understanding the drop spot so much more because it's your innate home. You find that extra angle coming in from Almond that Biffle's just not expecting. He's forced to back off. There's a huge fight going on over towards No Name. Concrete will be held by the Gentlemates for now as Hallow finds himself a couple of kills in the feed. 5th kill slipped underneath to just anchor his team in for now. But it will be another regain situation for Team Vision. A difficult couple of maps for them. The French starting to hunt in the waters, and Clumsy finds out that they're extremely shallow when Hallow has an LC10 in hand. So you set up for now. You've got rotations coming in from Virtus Pro. This could be a huge fight for the rest of this map. Lane can claim here to this northern side will give you a free roam down towards Control Center, maybe a little bit of a contest at boat, but otherwise you'll be feeling pretty for the next circle.
Yeah, I love this. I think you play this a little bit of ahead. You understand where the Gentlemates are, maybe try and back them on down. But it looks like for now, Virtus Pro going to go ahead back on up. You still have Sage over towards that chemical engineering side, and while Donkey and Noobs, they make their way back up towards the top of Prison. It's Prodigy in the window. He is just raining down bullets, and Noobs, he's made a little bit of a read on the Vision here, and it's some great shots indeed. Vision will get taken on out by Donkey, who's good for a solid trade as he moves on forward. Donkey, though, a nade up over the top. He's looking for the confirmation. That might be enough. He's going to get the hit marker. Can he get the hop up? Can he find the timing that is there? Oh, but Vision, Wars, they're on the outside. Drops on in. LC10 in hand. Donkey, he's good. Can he reset this fight? I don't know if he can. Where are the help? Nowhere to be found. Donkey eliminated. Noobs had to go regain over by Chemical with Sage. But hey, if you're Donkey, at least you're good for one.
Yeah, I think he gets unlucky there as well. He throws the flash into the rooftop and actually bounces back towards him. So I think if that had gone the direction he wanted, he may be even good for 2 there. Let's look at XO Esports. Sitting bottom of our leaderboard currently. Need to find a way into this fight. You will be pressured trying to get up these stairs by 100 Thieves. Also got the Gentlemate slightly inland as well. The circle's dragging heavily off towards Factory or headquarters side. So you've got to find a punch through these defensive lines early in order to find a rotation. Gabe's going to try and rotate here, but I don't think he's expecting XO to start to play alongside the shore. Smoke goes out to cover, and if you are that 100 Thieves teammates set up in Control Center, you're very worried about losing him at the moment like this, potentially an overstray.
Yeah, but on the other side of the map, Twisted Minds, they went crazy in the kill feed, finding so many kills on the Leviathan. You can see the Falcons, they're starting to move on up, and well, Rated from AGAL is just trying to make his way back to G1, already feeling fantastic right now, all with some shots out of the sky. Yet again, you find Lays here, Clumsy, flying in towards the boat as you are just looking to go ahead and farm right now if you are the Twisted Mind. They've been doing such a great job so far, currently sitting second on our leaderboard. It's been all about mixing those kills with the placement where they can. And map number 5, it's looking very good for them, but they have to be able to get towards that end game, get to that 1.4 to be able to maybe start having some contention against Virtus Pro.
Certainly do, and several teams, by the way, edging their bets at this point, recognizing that the circle's pulling up towards this corner. Twisted Minds will fight the Factory, but you're also going to have Gentlemate setting up a headquarters Esports alongside AG Global. It's prison that Rock Esports are going to want to fight their way out of and have done enough to back down their opposition in Team Vision here. But that circle's going to drag ever further off towards Factory. So all that work that Twisted Minds have done at this point will hand them potential win condition. That being said, they will have plenty of company and teams started to scramble down the hill. Beef gets caught, and Kyo's trying to send bullets on over the top. So is Hallow. And right now, you're going to have to back up and just stay alive. Unfortunately, you lose Wars and Rock Esports in a tough position for the next rotation.
Is FIFA about to get the self off? Oh my gosh, he does.
How the hell?
Smoke comes on out. It's basically because Gentlemates are here and Grandma's looking on over. Have absolutely no idea that Thief had found himself knocked right underneath that staircase. We're more concerned about shooting on over towards Rock. Lennon will get found on out, and you can see Thief, he's out there. They watch Echo come on in. It's a battle in the showers. He's trying to be able to sprint away. Snakes are in. The form is looking a little bit of good as Rock will go ahead, bring the bullets to their EU brethren. They would love to be the squad on top coming out of the Esports World Cup, and, well, they are laying a good claim to it so far. Win the last map, and they're looking pretty good right now.
Not bad at all. Everyone takes a breath, then sets up. I say that, 100 Thieves, they're going to roll up. They want to fight the Falcons. On the opposite side of this are the FaZe boys. So you start to be squeezed if you are the defending champions. 2 dead. Shifty only remains. He slips out the backside. Sorry, Soka will be up only by a bullet.
No way.
Just about gets away. Plate goes in, doesn't have much spare. Finds one on the deck. We'll scoop that inside. 100 Thieves on the hunt. 2 of your players on board. And the Falcons are gone again. Don't even make top 10 here in map 5.
Wow, I don't know what we are seeing, and you can see the venue. It's all clapped, so they're happy for that one. An early exit yet again from the Falcons. I liked what we saw from them. It was an earlier push up to living quarters. I thought that was going to allow them to get a little bit more active. We saw Soka himself on the front line. Falcons trying to do something new here in that number 5, trying to fight their way up the leaderboard, but it's still just not enough. I think they're maybe starting to feel the competition, starting to feel the pressure that some of these other squads are bringing.
And there is nothing but layer cake action here at Factory. To quote our good friend, Grandmaster Doge. The Gentlemates will be a part of this, so will Virtus Pro. You're going to see kills coming in from Twisted Minds onto AG Global. And look at this, layer upon layer of teams waiting to activate, waiting to strike. Going to let everybody else fight first and hook to third party a couple of situations. Maybe find yourself some freebies. You want bodies going into the end fights. You want to be the ones to mount top in the trades.
Well, if you're the Gentlemates, you're probably want to just say, let them eat cake at this point. Come on in, let these players go ahead, battle it on out. Hold this side, and I don't get antsy. Don't think you have to maybe try and push for a different layer. Wait for where this zone goes ahead and pulls. Virtus Pro, though, they want some of these kills. Doggy already currently sitting on 8. I think if VP can manage to convert this at least into a top 5, you're going to see them push their way up the leaderboard. But right now, Head is just going to hold on in. 7 squads remaining, looking to get towards that 1.4 times multiplier. And look where this zone pulls. It's on over towards the school. Hop on the bus, ladies and gentlemen, because we all got to move.
Yeah, you can make as educated a guess as you like, but sometimes the zone just says, everybody's coming over here, and the Gentlemates will get aggressive and send Virtus Pro to their graves. Gentlemates were sat in third coming into this. Virtus Pro on top. A huge fight in the context of this tournament. The French continue to roll on out. They will have a lot of company to deal with, and Kyo's going to get knocked, and you pull yourself off. It looks like he has. Standing back up here, but FaZe will be in school, and Twisted Minds have the rooftop to try and shut this down.
Hollow, he gets taken on out. FaZe, they're trying to play from this other side. Can you take the rooftop of school here into our top 3 as Clumsy trying to play alongside the other 2 players, looking around on the outside, trying to be able to maybe find an angle on these players on the top. Hollow finally gets taken up from Gentlemates. It brings us down into a 3v3. Twisted Minds versus FaZe. C. Smith, he's gonna be the first one to drop on down, but it's a huge wrap. Twisted Minds, they make the first rotation over to school. They hold down the positioning and they activate when they need to. Aydan, you can see, he is always a ball of energy. He is the light of the Warzone scene, and in those final moments, he comes online. The fans in the arena are going crazy right now, and that could be the type of game that puts Twisted Minds hot on the heels of Virtus Pro. But it's the Esports World Cup. It's the best of the best. They had to fight their way out of their region. They had to fight their way through the group stage. Some of these teams had to fight their way through the LCQ just to get to map number 10. It is a marathon, not a sprint. And let's see who still has gas in the tank.
Well, we take a quick look at the landings here, and of course, the Gentlemates will be contested initially by Vision. VP will get their landing for free over by Chem. It There will be a lot of activity on Control Center. Thieves have company in EXO and in the Falcons, but they find the kills at least. And well, for the Falcons, they will see themselves their anchor in their typical stronghold location, and Twisted are safe in Factory. So everybody can take a breath for now. The rest of the lobby will have to figure it out. But for the Gentlemates and for Team Vision, this is the most hotly contested team when it comes to match point.
Let's see. The Gentlemates, if they can manage to win this fight against Team Vision, I got to assume their chances of winning this map skyrocket. Already some early fights. Great Molotov from Enkyo. We'll back down some of the members. You see Lennon slide on out to the left. Lennon and PPK trying to create some sort of crossfire here right now, but Enkyo, he will not take the bait. Goes down a level, wants to meet back up with his fellow Frenchman. Try and retake this fight, but look who's lurking on this outside here, Enigma. FaZe Clan, they've taken over control of Industries for the time being, and they might look to push on out of this to maybe get involved. But Noobs, he's already going to do so. Just taking a quick peek over with his loadout cipher. No surprise there. Everybody just, I think, trying to do their best to stave off the opposition.
I do wonder if you knew who was on the other end of that gunfight, if you actually shoot if you're Noobs. I'm assuming he's thinking that's someone like Grommelok. CT Gaming, by the way, will be eliminated first here. They fall early. 100 Thieves, they have company at Control Center, as they so often do. EXO continuing to stick around, hang around, but also on Novo. Javi will find Khmood. Skull just bobbing and weaving here, desperately trying to for a shoulder and just stay alive, but will actually take a little bit of damage, forced to back off. The bait and switch is there though. Thieves flowing as a unit as they have so often today. Back over to the battle at bioweapons. Grommelok just gonna tuck himself into the second level here. You've got Team Vision just above you. Hallow's gonna continue to hang out on that submarine, so it's essentially a 2v3 most of the way through this fight, and Gentlemates will give us good as we get.
Well, Biffle, Shifty. They want to get back on into this. Some great shots onto Havix. Shifty not going to get overextended. Not going to make it happen. Dives back on down. Wants to join Diaz Biffle. Soka the third, still back on over towards Strongholds. You're just trying to maybe put a thorn in the side of 100 Thieves. His blast is taken on out. Gabe, he's going to slide up from the bottom, and he's able to find Shifty, but Diaz, good for the trade. Any other players nearby? Of course, it is going to be a couple of these squads from Novo. EXO also here in the mix, and well, if you're the last player from 100 Thieves and Skullface, you want to go ahead and back on up. Diaz finds Cams on the Ascender. He's not going to be able to clean it on up, though, as Havix finds Diaz Biffle that's there, and Skullface, he's continuing just to try and stay alive. Other two teammates, they've spawned back on in. Now here comes the question, Enigma. Do they try and land and join on up with Skullface, or do they maybe just try and maybe back off for a moment?
Yeah, they're kind of assessing the situation on the fly here. Skullface is doing incredibly well. He actually finds one that's going to allow Gabe Kuhn back in. I'm pretty sure that you have Blast floating, so Ivlari's landed in the water and will have to find his way back over to his teammates. Company, still, if you are Skull here, just trying to lock this down. First time, but maybe a breath at Control Center. But you got to pick a fight, you got to pick a side, and Skull spins, finds Harvey, cleans him up. So where then is Cams? You won't have to worry about him for too long. He's considering just backing off here, maybe towards his anchor. 100 Thieves locking this down. They struggled so much with the earlier stages of this LAN environment, but they're feeling themselves today.
Yeah, they can see this zone. They know it's going to be pretty central for a while, so they're not going to be forced to move just yet. Natural loadouts will spawn on in. Back down at bioweapons, Grommelok, Hollow and Enkyo, the Gentlemates, just put on an absolute heater of a game to put them here on match point in the top of our leaderboard. It's been a battle against Team Vision all day long, and welcome Grommelok. He'll get some early sights onto Echo from Team Vision and cut him on down. And a little maybe European love between these two squads. We know this is a contest that has been happening for a while, and well, for the Gentlemates, for them to be able to get that win over Team Vision, that's going to give them a lot of runway here in this map.
Yeah, taking a look at the lay of the land, and for Twisted Minds, you've pushed forward from Factory towards headquarters, recognizing the zone's going to pull more towards the north than you would have liked, so you're going to have to get on this quite early. Smith, well, the jump is interesting, but you do make it happen. You hit the crossing, and also Aydan finds Rockstar as well, so you can find yet more purchase of Jawad, who's tucked himself inside the doorway, and will make you feel quite comfortable. There is one EVOS player in the tower above you, like there's going to be Rockstar, but otherwise Twisted Minds feeling comfortable as they move forward. The Falcons, they're squeezing up towards Control Center belonging to the Thieves. Gentlemates comfortable in Bio, VP comfortable in Chem.
I kind of like this right now from, of course, Twisted Minds, because I think they realize if they can take out this player in the tower, it's going to let them, I think, play up from this factory side in through headquarters and prison. Just so much easier. You can see the nades dropping on top of Robstar, and he's just doing everything he can to stay alive for the time being. For the moment, we are going to see Twisted Minds sort of back on up. Falcons have started to make their way on through. I'm looking at the kill feed, though. Team Vision, they're missing Echo, they're missing FIFA kill.
Tracks the key, does well enough. Drumlock will be there to clean. It was there for the coverage either way. Cams will actually knock Biffle here, so Shifty's got quite a bit of work to do. Both side, Javi goes high, and you do lose Biffle in the cleanup, so Shifty got to figure it out himself. If there's anyone who certainly can take on a team 1v2, it's this man. Arguably the straightest shooter in our scene. But two players looking to land on him at the same time. And both find him, so Shifty sent packing. Soka will still be up, but it's in that awkward position yet again of trying to get out Stronghold up towards Control. It's that uphill battle they've just not liked.
Yeah, I mean, you either got to push over towards Control where you have these two teams and Nova 100 Thieves, or you push to the other side where you're trying to play through headquarters where you have Evos and Twisted Mind. So basically 4 heavy hitters directly in front of you. But one thing we've seen the Falcons do time and time again, it is their ability to absolutely cut through zone on the other side of the map. For the Gentlemates, it's going to be continuing this battle with Team Vision. Maybe a couple of those body shots coming back to bite them. Enkyo swings on out, is able to find a couple shots onto FIFA kill, cracks the armor. Hollow is there for a solid trade. This will open up the map for them to be able to get on out of here as the zone is starting to push them. But for Virtus Pro, they are doing what they did to get to this point anyway. It's Sage on top of Chemical, and well, it's Donkey and Nuke running amok in prison. And I think Sage has the right idea here. Keep your eyes towards this bio side. You know that the Gentlemates are going to be on over there, and if you can just even throw a little bit of a wrench into the plan of the French, you might be able to buy yourself some time.
Yeah, absolutely. So many of these teams looking for each other in the feed. If they can get an advantage in the fight, expect them to squeeze up on it. Dongy just going to be above the Rock Esports here. You got 2 of those VP bodies over towards prison. That zone's going to continue to drag, looking very open territory where we saw the Gentlemates win out last time. Soka's going to be helping Biffle in the fight. Knocks come through, traded situation. All 3 of the Falcons squeezing up together. No Soka anchor situation here, and that's partly why, because he's up, he's helping clear out this boat to give you a better position for the later fights.
Right shots onto Vortex, their armor crack will back him down, and well, the Falcons have been able to stabilize. Reminder, folks, doesn't matter that they're bottom in the top 5 on our teams on match point. They're able to take this win. They will, of course, surge to the top and maintain their role here as the dynasty in Warzone. A lot of map left to play, though. We're still only missing 1 team coming to the end of zone number 3. The Gentlemates, they've moved on over towards Concrete. You lose Enkyo in the process, but you very cleanly clean up FaZe yet again. Hopefully Enkyo, he's going to be able to stay alive. Can you get the tap on here? Dark Gromlock, you will be able to. I like this Concrete positioning from the Gentlemates.
Yeah, I think this is really good at early rotation coming through. We've seen this from time and time again. Very comfortable over here. Not sure what that gameplay was supposed to be, but you are out of here if you are Leviathan. Our second team wiped off the map. And they will now have a relatively comfortable spot compared to some of our teams that are trying to rotate in, including in behind them, Team Vision, a squad that they've pretty much put belt to arse to all the way through this map. But there will be Virtus Pro finding a bit of purchase into them as well as they try and patrol the edge of that circle and move in with it.
Well, look where Twisted Minds has moved on up to the zone. It's going to pull them out of factory, so they decide to play in through prison side. They're going to hold this bottom area, but we have a lot of teams who are floating around here. Robstar doesn't get found on out. Ullman throws a couple warning shots downrange. Utility box will let them be able to secure a couple more thermites, a couple more smokes that you might be looking for to try and push on through. For a team like Twisted Minds, they don't have to take any of these fights. They can manage to just dive them if they need to. And it looks like the tunnel is going to be their option. But look who's moving on up. It's AGAL. I thought the AGAL may be able to hit the timing, but it's a couple of thermites. It will back down some of the members with the burn. It comes on out. Twisted Minds, can you slide on through here? Scummin, he's going to slide on out. He's trying to be able to play his life, but look who's surging on forward. It is Aydan. He brings down Scummin. He brings down Rated. He takes another team off the board as they are looking to waltz their way to a victory on match point.
When we talk about death ball, ladies and gentlemen, that is how that plays out. Nice and close and personal. Dongy, by the way, peeled off by Prodigy. So Virtus Pro will be down a man, looking to make this next rotation over from Prison Courtyard. And they're being hunted over there. Falcons have found themselves on the steps. They've got Soka out towards the boat, just trying to set themselves up. Actually, I think Soka's joined the front lines. He has indeed. Shifty, sorry, who's anchoring in at this point for the Falcons. Maybe have to pay attention to the fact that they've got some players in the water behind them, but it's Gentlemates under pressure at Concrete.
Thank you. He's got to stay alive here. It's Team Vision. They fully surrounded him. He's able to bring down FIFA Kill. Is he going to be able to get the plates back on in? Tempered will help him reset this fight very, very quickly. He takes down Echo. Is it a 1v3 for the Frenchman? No, it is not. Lennon, it's on the line, and he will get the final kill. And you can see the look of disbelief in all of the Gentlemates fans here in the arena.
Bullet away for a 1v3 that would have given you great endgame positioning. VP will fight back though against Rock Esports, managing to win out here. However, you are missing Dongi in this engagement, so you're going to have to do it as a 2 if you're going to close this out. 9 squads still remaining. Noobs applying pressure to Evos, who tuck themselves inside, but those shacks are made of paper, boys. And Norbstar will fall, but the teammates, well, they're not going to be feeling much better about this.
Soka has been dropped on the other side, by the way, by some of the members of Twisted Minds, and I love what Virtus Pro is doing right now. You mentioned it. Light it on up. This thing has no protection towards it. Can you manage to get that full? You can. Showstopper's going to be the one to slide on out. But Noobs, he just keeps firing, baby. Robstar goes into the stream of bullets, and he gets taken on out. Jawad is there for a trade onto Virtus Pro, but look where we are starting to see some movement. We see some movements from the Falcons out on the boat. Twisted Minds making their way through tunnel, and just like that, Virtus Pro, they have been taken off our map. So not only have the Gentlemates made an exit, but so have Virtus Pro. It's just 100 Thieves, Twisted Minds, and Falcons.
Soka got company behind him. Exo just going to be a thorn in the side for now, a nuisance really that you really want to swat away. And now the res comes through. 100 Thieves are going to be scrambling over the top of our Twisted Minds over towards tunnel side. I don't know if they recognize each other's there, but this could be a fight for win condition. You've got squad number 2, that's Team Vision in the mix as well.
We are coming down to the final moments. Twisted Minds, they want to just go ahead, hold this tunnel. If the Falcons are not careful, they could find themselves directly in the line of sight of not only Twisted Minds, but also 100 Thieves. Echo, Team Vision, they're on the other side in a battle against Exo Esports.
Z-Smith just going to watch the back line, then turn his attention forward once that gas is finished coming on in. 100 Thieves going to lock themselves down around the shack, not having to worry about any pressure from the backside. Falcon's going to have to flood forward at some point. Circle's going to drag hard towards them though, so all about these fights in the open territory.
I mean, Falcons, Twisted Minds, Thieves, they're in great position right now. No matter where this is going to go ahead and pull. Exo Esports taken on out. Team Vision, they are the only team not on match point here, ladies and gentlemen. They have an opportunity to put us to one more game, but it's 3 out of our 4 squads. They are here. 100 Thieves, they're going to make a gas play. They're trying to set themselves up already in control.
Soka is going to be run over here a little bit. People kill Echo, find kills. It's just Shifty going to be standing tall, and he will flee, and he will fall. The Falcons are out of here. You've still got Twisted Minds, though. You've still got 100 Thieves on that rotation. Thieves lose 2. Twisted Minds in the best position to see it all.
It's all self-revives. It's Twisted Minds. They're here on top of control, but look who's still in the zone. They're not taking damage. Team Vision, they are here, and it's going to be a cluster that comes in up over the top. Skullface hops on out. He's going to be able to get the revive, but the self-revives on top of control are coming on in. Gabe sighting on up, begging anybody to peek a shoulder. Team Vision, they're looking at control as well. They can't manage to see anybody of 100 Thieves, but the zone will finally pull on over towards the edge.
You managed to get the reses through. Look at them. Oh
my
just manages
God.
to get Smitty and Aydan up. Can you stand, though, before that circle starts to squeeze? It's the last one. Thieves have 2, Vision have 3, and you're up high for the Twisted Minds.
Lennon, he's been able to find Almond, but everybody just sticking with each other, just huddling for warmth, trying to keep their tournament alive. Echo and Lennon, they're going to move on the outside, but Z-Smith, he pops on up. He finds Lennon. The knock is there. He's continuing to try and find Echo. The bullets going through the truck. 100 Thieves, they're still alive below. A Molotov will finally be able to bring down Echo. Lennon, he is finished. We are about to come down to our final 2 teams as FIFA Kill goes huge. Almond jumps on down. Twisted Minds! They do it to the very end. It was patience all the way through. It will reap them their reward. Our motto this year, Enigma, is rise above all. They couldn't do it last year, and when the competition was greatest, the Twisted Minds were able to rise above their competition and secure a match point victory.
The celebrations ripple out up on the stage, but also in the crowd. The hometown org and Miss Sweets cheering her partner on to Esports World Cup glory. Smitty, Almond and Aydan, who for so long so many have questioned, do you want to be up on that stage? After everything you've achieved, after everything you've done, it would be fair to walk away into the wind and saddle off in retirement, but no,
he will stand atop the stage of glory, above so many, and over the top of the dynasty.
It's not too far down the boulevard. You see their mascot in just grandeur, the Twisted Minds. They came into this year wanting to make a statement. They made this roster change.
And here we go, Aydan. It's about that time. In 3, 2, 1, send him down! And hold it. Clean! Smith, how did that feel?
It feels amazing, man. We were due.
You were due indeed. Okay, there's something to do right now, isn't there? All of your opponent's keys have now been crushed in our awesome crusher. There's only one thing. Take that key, go and rise up to your trophy, put it in the center, and raise it for the world to see as champions. Congratulations, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, your Call of Duty Warzone champions at the 2025 Esports World Cup, Twisted Minds! Has got to have felt good. I know you thought you got rid of me, but I'm back. Smith, try to put into words how you're feeling right now, buddy.
I don't know if that's possible right now, but all I know is this is the most clutch team I think I've ever played with. I mean, it's always the last game, man, and that's been our mojo for the past 3 months, every single tournament. It always comes down to the last game, and we always pull it out.
You do indeed. Some of the analysts were even saying in the closing moments of that game that if anyone deserves it, you do, man. Is it nice to hear that?
Yeah, man. I mean, this is your goal. You start playing 5 years ago to win on the big stage. That's what you want to do.
Yes, you do indeed. I'm going to come round and try not to fall over here on the stage because it's pretty slippy. Aydan, you hear the fans echoing through the arena online. They're going to be lighting up all of your socials. You know it. Aydan, you can even hear it right now. Is there anything that you'd like to say to them, buddy? Because, yeah, what a day, eh?
Listen, I'm just appreciative to be here, to be able to play games for a living and, you know, just have people in the stands watching and rooting on. Shout out to Twisted and just shout out to everyone here because without y'all, this is not possible without you guys. So thank you for making this event. It was. Shout out to my lady that's here and my family watching at home. They have a watch party going on. And it's my first LAN win ever. And, you know, this means a lot to me. So I'm just very appreciative to be here.
Let's not also forget that along with the incredible trophy, there's a lion's share of $1 million, my friend. How's that feel?
Amazing, man. I don't even know what to say. It still doesn't feel real.
Oh, man. It must be such an incredible feeling.
Sir Royal Highness Prince Faisal with the frame, handing it over to Aydan. Aydan given the honors. Will he give it to the MVP or will he take it for his first LAN victory? The Ohio boy gets the honors. You'll love to see it, Shift.
Yeah, you really do. And it's just one of those things, you look back to the competitive history of Warzone. When it was first becoming a thing, a lot of people said, is Aydan the best player in Warzone? It seems like now is an appropriate time to scale the wall and take place on his throne.
What a moment for the boy from Ohio, streaming from a mansion in Houston. He came from Fortnite, established his dominance in Battle Royale there. accepted by the Warzone community, loved by all, and now cementing his place on the totem. Twisted Minds, your champions of Call of Duty Warzone EWC 2025. Some final hugs on the stage between the players. You know Aydan can't wait to get back to Danny, celebrate with his partner. They'll be joined by His Royal Highness at the floor. And of course, then they'll go out to greet all the fans. If you are out here in Riyadh, get your Sharpies ready. It's time for some autographs. These gentlemen are absolutely famous and for great reason. And what a moment for everyone from Twisted Minds able to celebrate with their squad.
Yeah, it's just another one of those things that the community runs so deep. We saw it last year with Falcons. It was a smaller venue in a lot of ways. You had a situation where the crowd showed up and packed it out. This year, totally different ball game. Twisted Minds on top.
Warzone, thank you for welcoming us here. Thank you all for tuning in to EWC 2025. Congratulations, Twisted Minds.